It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Archmage Raven, and like I said, we're gonna get into the first part of Divinity Original Sin 2, which is kind of like a tutorial area. I did the previous video where I described a bit about my choice of character and what we're gonna be using as our class and skills, and here we are as the Red Prince. This I forgot to mention in my previous video. This is on Tactician difficulty, and we're going to be playing as Lone Wolf. So as you can see, Divinity Original Sin 2 is very well designed graphically. The audio, the music, everything is top notch. Voice acting, everything is voice acted, including the animals, which you're gonna see hopefully during the playthrough. So yeah, let's get started. So this initial part of our adventure is on a boat. We're headed to Fort Joy, like you saw in the intro cinematic. And when we first got out of this, you notice we have a collar around our neck, and this is because we're a source user, and these collars prevents us from using source. Source magic is in the form of skills, just like any other skill. The only thing is that they use a source point, which is up here. First we start with one source point. We're going to be able to use this once we get rid of our collar, and then eventually you can grow up to 3 source points, and there are skills that you can use that require 3 source points. Yeah, so if you hold down the left alt button, you're going to be able to see the items that you can pick up that are useful in the sense. There are items like this that can be picked up, however they're very useless and they most of the times weigh a lot, so we're not gonna pick them up. This is our character screen, our attribute spreadsheet, whatnot. We have everything here about our character, initiative, movement, I don't know, damage, everything. And you can use the tabs at the top to go for everything. So yeah, oh, and by the way, if you guys notice any issues with the audio or whatnot, just let me know so I can try to improve the quality of my content.
Oh, everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
I already read through most of the books and the notes and everything in the first part of the game, so I'm not gonna read through them. You can just like pause the video and read it yourselves. So let's move on. I already know where most of the barrels, containers, chests, everything is located, so this should go smoothly and fast. But here's hoping.
You're up. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
Yeah, so as you see, everything is voice acted. There is banter going on. I do find it a bit annoying that the banter, or like the monologues that some NPCs have, is on a loop, and it gets tiresome after a while, especially when you're in dialogue with someone and in the background these two guys keep like going on and on and on with the same lines. Hopefully it's not too distracting, so let's see.
There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Okay, so in my previous video, I believe I mentioned, hopefully, this, based on your origin, which basically means some tags that you get in the beginning, 2 tags for each character, you're able to use certain dialogue options specific to those tags. These mostly add flavor. Uh, very few encounters where you can use these to actually alter the outcome of an event or an interaction. Mainly they're there so that you can role play as the character you want. However, there are situations where either a tag, for example, the Red Prince is gonna say here instead of noble, will possibly affect the outcome of the dialogue. So I'm gonna prioritize this based on what I've seen about the Red Prince so far. So it's gonna be, if we can choose Red Prince, it's a must, then Noble, and then Scholar. And based on other tags that we may find throughout the game, I'm gonna try and prioritize those. But we're gonna try to roleplay as much as we can as the Red Prince.
Oh dear. I'm afraid you're a long way from home, my lord. A long way from the little bells that make footmen come a-running.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Yeah, we're not gonna be a good boy. Actually, I hate the Magisters and the Divine Order, and we're gonna be everything else other than a good boy. So you're not gonna cure anyone, baby.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
So this is specific to the Red Prince, as you can see here, because he dabbled with demonology and something like that. And there are points throughout the game where we can get further or deeper in his story. And apparently he remembers staring at the demon. So yeah.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
You have to give it to the devs for including this narrator. It's a very good design. He adds a lot to the atmosphere and creates this image in your head of how the interactions go and how the characters actually move and the gestures they make and the intonation in their voice. So very, very nice addition.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
Good gods! There's been a murder here!
Like, I really like his voice.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
So I'm guessing, like, based on what I know about the Red Prince, that he wouldn't feel sick at the sight of blood. So let's just ask what happened.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
Ooh, a suspect. So scary.
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it.
If you have nothing to hide, I'm sure it'll go just fine. Bloody
Yeah, so initially I thought I took this as an insult, but honestly, when you look at him, he's all red and bloody, I think describes him pretty accurately. So yeah, thanks, dude. I'll take that as a compliment.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Yeah, no, she's very intimidating. Okay.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
You were a captor, not a protector.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source.
Oh, I get it. So you were protecting him from himself. Yeah.
We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Well, considering we're not from the House of Dreams, we're from the House of War. Yeah.
Figured as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform.
You think?
Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Seriously? For a gold coin? Yeah.
Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of us. We want to find who did it and bring them to justice. Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Yeah, so I like how you just start the game, you're in this ship's hold, and you immediately stumble upon a gruesome murder scene, and you just casually speak to everyone, and they let you in, just like strolling through the blood. It's, yeah, an interesting take to say the least. Okay. Now, one thing to note about the game is you can pretty much loot everything that's not nailed down, and to be honest, I do suggest that you actually do it because money is quite hard to come by in the game, especially if you don't have barter or thieving or Lucky Charm. However, Lucky Charm doesn't necessarily make you a fortune, it does give you a chance to pick up some good loot. So overall, pick up everything, sell everything, doesn't matter what it is, because you can most likely carry a lot, especially if you have a strength based character in the party. It does increase the carry weight, so yeah, that helps. There is a talent that you can pick up at some point called Pet Pal. You can actually pick this up right in the beginning of the game, but I wanted this to be a lone wolf playthrough. We can get Pet Pal at the not the next level after that, level 3, because you only get talents one every 3 levels, I believe. Don't quote me on it though. Yeah, so if we had Pet Pal, we would have had kind of like a small, very small dialogue, a chatter with the sheep, and most of them are really funny. So it's good to have just for the humor, if not for anything else. However, Pet Pal does actually help you acquire quests and finish quests, so it's really good to have. So let's speak with Sabine.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
What are you doing?
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
So can you read the future in
She
Calian
eyes you
Trails?
quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past, in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Yeah, so one interesting thing about elves in this game, they're not your typical tree huggers. Actually, they are, but the devs put kind of like a cool twist on them where they're flesh eaters. So during the game, you can pick up limbs from I don't know, corpses or whatnot, and you can give them to an elf. They can eat them, and they can relive the memories, or at least some memories of that particular character. It adds this dark feeling to the elves that I haven't seen in fantasy games for quite some time, especially for normal elves, not like dark or drow or whatnot. So yeah, pretty cool. I may end up taking Sabine as my only companion. However, I haven't decided yet. We'll see. Um, yeah. So normally I would go ahead and extend my arm, but because we're a noble, I figured like the Red Prince wouldn't like let some creepy elf on the ship lick his arm, so we're not gonna do it.
She chuckles once more.
That red-cheeked refusal tells me more than licking you would. But suit yourself, darling.
Okay, so regardless, we didn't let her lick us, but let's ask whose fates she's deciding.
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I may decide your fate.
Assure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go around and pick everything up, cause
Surely.
like I said, we can make some good money out of them.
The Magisters are out for blood. You saw the body, didn't you? Big bruiser like you ought to be able to take 'em on.
Yeah, with my bare claws, that would be suicide.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Nice beard.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Boy? Who do you think you're
He
addressing?
opens both eyes and turns his head toward you, looking you up and down. He smiles and closes his eyes once more.
You look like a boy to me. Listen if you're interested. Or get gone if you aren't.
Yeah, anyway, so do you know anything about the murder?
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Murder? Ah, that's what they were going on and on about. I wouldn't know anything about it. I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it. And the mayor knows who done it too.
Well, he's really proud of his killing. Yeah.
His eyes flutter shut, and he assumes his position of repose once more.
Whether they catch me is another matter. But I ain't one to hide my accomplishments.
Okay, I get it. So what was that about hearing?
The ship, of course.
Okay.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
I love how this is described. Very cool.
And
Yeah, the shipmates are as chatty as gulls.
a common sort of sound, isn't it? Where there's talk, there's health.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Look at this guy. He doesn't necessarily seem that healthy to me. Look at that, I don't know, fur on him.
That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Yeah, no, I like this part. So it's as if he knows exactly how intensely we're trying to hear. Sorry.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
Yeah, can you imagine this guy like smacking you in the back? You would go 3 meters.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Okay, so what's it supposed to be?
The wheel, don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
The wheel. I like how doors always have some sort of Irish or Scottish accent. but this is too much.
Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Seriously, you were able to do that math. You know what, never mind. What's so interesting about Fort Joy?
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
No, the afterlife is most likely for all of us, but sure, go
The
right ahead.
dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave, but I will keep this guy in mind. Maybe we'll recruit him. Who knows?
You are chill, aren't you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Name?
Why I'm most commonly known as the Red Prince.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here.
A? Say A again. God damn it. Hey, look, kids.
Wow! You're a dragon. You look like a dragon. But where are your wings?
Well, I lost them, but don't worry, I'll get them back once we hit level 2 and I reach Fort Joy. I'll pick up the skill, we'll grow wings. Don't worry about it.
You're really red. I bet that's why the Magisters took you. They took me because I'm magic.
Sure you are, kid. Sure you are.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
Yeah, no, you're... I don't know. Madonna. Anyway, I like how, like, in-game they decided to call her Losa, but I've not seen anyone pronounce this name correctly, mostly because I think Losa would have been with an A instead of an E. However, I may be wrong, but yeah.
Ah, there you are. Husband.
Wait, what?
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Yeah, no, honestly, looking at the kids, they do look like brats, so...
Oh, they're not so bad. At least not when they're treating me, Madame Josephine Gribble de P, with due deference.
I like the name.
The children break out into giggles.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Well, we do, but honestly, couldn't you find some more age-appropriate companions?
Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kiddies, usually.
Yeah, no, honestly, I like my women scaly, so don't think this is gonna work out for us. Do you know anything about the dead guy?
Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Okay then.
Her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Yeah, no, that wasn't creepy at all. Good luck, creepy person. Yeah, so one thing to point out if you guys play this game, if you have a lot of, like, junk somewhere that you want to pick up, don't hold down the Alt key and click, because there's a delay with the animation where if you click one, then the next, it will wait until the animation is finished. Then I'm not sure why this is, because pressing Alt just highlights like the name of them. So let me show you what I mean. I click this one, then this one, and look how slow it goes. Wait, what?
I'm trying to concentrate.
Did you see that? However, if you do this, it takes them instantly. Oh my god, one of my kin. I'm sure she knows how to properly address me. Ah.
The cook bows slightly and wipes her hands on her gruel-stained garb.
Ah, disgusting.
Forgive me, Your Highness. I didn't expect... Well, anyway, were that I had more than cornmeal and rotting roots to serve, I'd concoct something more fitting for one of your stature.
Well, thank you for knowing that I am above your station. However, I do deserve only the finest cuisine, and it is your duty to provide, so no excuses.
Panic swamps her eyes, and she hurriedly returns to her work.
I expect I come back to have the best caviar and, I don't know, something to eat. I don't even like caviar.
Your kind always hung closest to our
Hey, look,
line,
key.
like wolves around a
Lucky find.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
Oh my god. Oh, by the way, this is Magister Victor. I like to call him Vic. If I were to kill him, I would try to transform him. Oh, I don't have the chicken skill. I wanted to do a good joke. Not gonna work. I wanted to transform him into a chicken and call him Vic the Chick. That will not work. Anyway,
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy-tham.
sure. Whatever, dude.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
He dare beckons me like a common servant? Huh.
Suit yourself. Was just going to adjust your collar for you. It pinches, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
And now my tail. Anyway, so why does he think you killed the guy?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Vic the Chick.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Okay, so how did you find yourself at the mercy of a subordinate?
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Okay, but honestly, did you kill the guy?
No. The dead man, Finn.
Now I believe you.
I have business with him, and I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
So what do you know about the Joy?
The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
Well, if we do, I'll tell him a couple of things about his bloody warder.
Easy now. I might think the same. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
Well,
What are you
I
conspiring
know.
about over there? You, lizard, what's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
no, let me introduce myself, it's only polite. I am the Red Prince, bitch.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
I'm surrounded by peasants.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
Yeah, so if you start out with the Lucky Charm, this is a very good place where you can take advantage of that, because most likely you're gonna get something good out of all of these containers. Unfortunately, I forgot to put one point because I wanted to, but I think we may find persuasion to be a good thing for us. You can easily press the spacebar to collect everything from a container. It really does like move things faster. Yeah, there's something I don't know exactly why, but if you don't get these plates in the correct order, one of them just drops through the textures. I'm not sure what's happening there. Yeah, there's just images. Oh, and you can like shift click items, and once you get to someone that you can trade with, let me show you. You can click this, offer all wares, and these items that have this hand over them are considered wares, so you just automatically put them in the trade window. So that's useful. However, I have no idea why this doesn't work in reverse. Oh. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, let's pretend that didn't happen. Can't believe I played this game for so long and I never actually took note of these two X's. Anyway, let's try to sell some things. Let's see. Yeah, sure, this as well. Oh, no, that's too much. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait, what? There we go. Just made a bit of gold. 14 times more than this woman over here would have given us. I wanted to call her something else, but I'll refrain from doing that. Okay, let's talk to the elf, Thane.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out, flicks a finger against one of your scales, and rubs his chin.
Seriously?
Fascinating. He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
So, good sir, because you've touched the Prince of the Empire, you will experience 7 years of good fortune. You are welcome.
7 years? What an infinitesimal period. Why would
I'm so sorry, I'm dumb, I do not know long words.
Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How difficult.
Yes.
You have my apologies, Lizard.
Excuse me, the Red Prince.
Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
So who are you again?
Yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough.
Well, you are an awkward fellow, so...
It is pleasurable to meet you.
I think it's easier if you just say it's a pleasure, but yeah, sure, I guess that works. So what exactly are you seeking?
Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe.
Yeah, no, because you can definitely find insight into the mysteries of the universe in a goddamn book. Good job.
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle.
It's like a sandwich without the salami.
Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Yeah, that isn't suspicious at all. I know everything, of course. I am the Red Prince.
Most unusual. And if it's not too rude to suggest, not much of an answer. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before.
Yeah, no, and sure, that's believable.
Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Well, if you want legends, honestly, you shouldn't be reading a history book. This I agree.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Yeah, suit yourself.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Well, honestly, Paid, or whatever your name is, if you'd been collared like a dog, stuck in the ship's hold with a corpse, with a murder on loose, how the hell would you feel?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir.
Well, I am
We all
upset,
were
and you're
what
not
we were
helping.
for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So let's see, what did we get here? Note? Okay.
I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Okay. So, like I said, don't use the function, because it will, you see, go very, very slow. However, if you do this, this goes faster. Definitely, this is something that Larian Studios should look into, because it's above and beyond my comprehension how this works. Just by highlighting it goes slower, it's, I don't know.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar
Siwan.
this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands
It sounds Chinese. Yeah. I don't really care about what's going on over here, so Sorcerer, what do you mean other people must die?
Means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly. If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh no, don't cast Source. Oh, shiny. Hey, that's a cool party trick. I should learn that for my next banquet at the palace. Okay, so the old lady set the ship on fire. Monsters are coming. We're like solo and wearing only rags. Basically, we're done for. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks everyone for joining. This has been Archmage Raven with Divinity Original Sin 2 playing as the Red Prince. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, you know, that jazz, and stay tuned for more. See you in the next one. Thanks.